Hello everyone, welcome back to SunRISE Ground Radio Lab. I'm Sheers, researcher in the Department of Climate and Space Sciences at University of Michigan and your mentor for the self-training modules. To make our project possible, I would like to thank our collaborators, SunRISE Space Mission and Radio Joe project, our team and the NASA funding grants. In this training module 2.0, we are going to learn about how to set up and install our SunRISE GRL antennas. So here's the antenna kit, which includes 8 PVC pipe of 5 feet long, 4 stack end caps, which is nothing but a PVC cap with bolt stuck through it, 8 PVC couplings, 8 mast tops, which are pre-assembled a short length of PVC pipe with eye bolts stuck through it, 2 100 feet long of nylon ropes, 4 zip ties of about 20.3 centimeters long, 1 duct tape, 1 roll of electric tape, and 8 ground stacks. Along with this, you will be require a 2 set of dipoles, which is nothing but a bare copper wire connected to a black insulator and coaxial cable sockets in the center. You will be required 2 set of 12.53 meter long coil of coaxial cable, 1 25.6 meter long coil of coaxial cable. Other than this, a facing cable which will be 4.7 meter long, 1 female to female coaxial adapter, 1 power combiner, 1 SDR receiver, 1 SMA to BNC adapter cable, 1 BNC to female adapter cable. Other than this, you will be required some tools also. So during installation process, you will be require a tape measure, which is about 6 meter long, a compass. If you don't have compass with you, you may use any compass mobile app installed in your mobile phones, a scissor or a utility knife, a permanent marker, and a rubber mallet. If rubber mallet is not available at your place, you may use any rock or wood block instead of that, but be careful. So now here I'm leaving you all with Del and Tramba, who will be demonstrate how to install and set up your own antenna by yourself. See you at the end of the video.
Alright, we wanted to go ahead and show you guys how to do step 1 of the antenna installation here. So step 1, of course, is to cut the rope here. You're going to want to cut it into 8 different sections. For the 8 guy lines that we're going to make. So basically, ideally you'd have a second person holding it down here. We don't have a second person right now, but that's okay. It's just for the purposes of demonstration. So we're going to come all the way down here. And basically now what you want to do is just take the Sharpie and just mark it at 6 meters, so that's 600 centimeters. And once you've done that, you just want to take your duct tape if you have any. Again, this step is optional. Just take your duct tape, and once you have it all nice and marked like this, you can just take the duct tape and sort of wrap it around nice and tightly, like that, like 2 or 3 times. And what that's going to do is it's going to help seal in the ends when you cut it, and prevent fraying and anything like that. So what we can do now is, I've sort of kept track of like where that mark was, so I'm going to try to cut as close to that mark we made with the Sharpie as possible. And you can just go ahead and cut right through the rope there, and you can see I actually got it right on the mark, surprisingly, but the ends aren't frayed and we're good to go. Now you just got to make 8 more of these. Okay, so for this next step, you're just going to be assembling the PVC mast. So basically it's pretty simple. You're basically just putting on the coupling to one of these PVC pipes. Get it on nice and firmly. You might have to twist it a little bit to get it on. And then you're going to take your second PVC pipe and put it into the coupling as well. And again, sort of twisting it to get it in. As you can see now, it's pretty tall. then we're going to put a second coupling on, and we can put the mast topper on. And we really want to make sure that all these pieces are really stuck together, you know, as close together as possible. So what you can do now is you can sort of put the top of the mast against the ground and sort of just kind of force it in so that all the pieces go together. And there you go, that's how you assemble a mast. Okay, hey guys, so now that you've cut your ropes and everything, we're going to teach you how to tie a very important knot that you need to know for attaching the rope to the masts and the stakes. So what you're going to want to do is, once you got your rope, you want to eyeball about 30 centimeters, that looks pretty good, and you just want to make a bend in the rope, aka a bite. And so you got the rope doubled up like this, and you just kind of want to make a loop in the rope, and then you're going to take the working end here and just sort of pass it through the loop once, and then pass it through the loop a second time. And this is really crucial. You absolutely have to make sure you pass it through the loop twice, otherwise you know, the knot could get jammed, and if you wanted to untie it, you probably wouldn't be able to. So definitely make sure that you pass it through the loop twice, and then you can sort of tighten it. And you know, you generally want to make sure that this end here is about 5 centimeters or less, just to minimize any length loss in the rope. And you know, looking at the knot here, you want to make sure that the lines aren't like crossing over each other in like any weird way. This looks fine. And we got this loop that'll go on the eye bolt later. And yeah, that's how you tie a double overhand loop. All right, hey guys, so now that you have the rope here attached to the mast, what you're gonna want to do is make another loop at the other end of the rope so that the rope can attach to the stakes. So now that we've kind of gotten this, you know, nice and tight on the mast, ideally you would have a second person holding this here. So definitely have a second person help you out with this, holding the mast here in place. And we're gonna walk all the way down here where the rope measures 440 centimeters or 4.4 meters. And what you want to do, and this is why you need a second person, is you want to put some tension on this rope as much as you can, and you want to get it so that it vibrates like a guitar string. And then, you know, while you're keeping it tense like that, you want to make a mark in the rope at 440 centimeters. And then you can let go of the tension, and now that you've got this mark, all you're going to do is, like we did in the last step, you're going to tie the exact same type of loop. So you're going to make a bite in the rope right where you made that mark, and you can just go ahead and tie a double overhand loop like we did before. Getting it all tightened, and there you go. So now we're ready to attach this to stakes once we put the masts up. All right, hey guys, so now we're basically like taking measurements and putting the end caps in the ground. So we've already put most of them in the ground. We've got one here, one over here, and then we've got the third one right here. And we're going to put the fourth one in over there in a second. But you can see, like, basically going east to west, we have about 24 feet or 7.332 meters is what you're going to want to measure out. And going north-south here, we got about 20 feet, or about 6.1 meters. And generally, like when you're measuring out the distances, you want to have someone hold the tape measure at the last stake that you marked, at the last point that you marked, so that you can get it accurate, so the tape measure doesn't slip. But we're gonna go ahead and show you how to pound these in. I'm gonna pound in the last one here. So you can go ahead, sort of put it into the soil a little bit, and to pound it in all the way, you can either use a rubber mallet, or you can use a wood block and a rock if you don't have a rubber mallet. So you can just set the wood block on top of the PVC end cap so that it doesn't get damaged. And then you can take a rock and just go ahead and pound it in. And now it's nice and secure in the ground. And that's it. Alright, hey, so now that, you know, we've sort of attached everything to the mast, we're going to go ahead and get the dipole attached. So you're going to want to lay out all these masts with their ends near the end caps that you embedded in the ground earlier. And we're just going to go ahead and unravel the dipole. And the first thing you want to do is you want to look closely at the dipole here, and you're going to be looking for this raised plus sign here, right there. And this is really, really important. You got to make sure that this plus sign is on the west side of the dipole. So for us here, that's west and that's east. So I'm good. Just got to keep this on the west side. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and attach the dipole to the mast. So the way you do this is you can take a zip tie and sort of loop it through the copper wire here and through the eye bolt, and then you can go ahead and put it through. And you really don't want to tighten this up too much. You want to tighten it up just enough so that you start hearing clicks. And you want to be able to fit like at least like 2 or 3 fingers between the eye bolt and the wire there. And you know, you're going to go ahead and do the same for the other half. And once you've connected both ends of the dipole, what you're going to do is you're going to screw this end of the 12.53 meter cable. Go ahead and take it and screw it onto this socket here on the dipole. Alright. Now that we've got it attached, what we want to do now is, and this is an optional step, you don't have to do this. If you have electrical tape or coaxial sealing tape, you just want to go ahead and wrap it around the connection. And you're especially going to want to do this if there's like a lot of, if you're expecting it to be exposed to moisture or anything like that. Just wrap it nice and tight, and you can go ahead and cut it with a pair of scissors. Alright. And that's how you attach the dipole. Hey guys, so today we're just going to show you how to put up the mast once you've got everything put together here. So the one here is we're just going to go ahead and put the mast up. And you only need to do this one at a time. And we're going to go ahead and insert the mast into the stake that we just put in the ground earlier. So we're going to go ahead and push it all the way in. Get it nice and firmly in there. And then I'm going to have Dewan go ahead and hold the mast up. And while we're doing this, you want to make sure that the lower eye bolt is facing this way so that we can stake out the guy lines here. And you might have to untangle the guy lines a bit, like like I have to do. All right, so now that we've gotten everything connected here, you're going to want to have a second person go ahead and hold the mast vertical. And while they're holding it vertical, there's going to be some tension on the line here. So just make sure that they're fighting against you while you're staking these lines in, so that we can keep this as close to vertical as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and stake this out. And to do this, you just gotta take the stake, put it through the loop that we made earlier, and go ahead and insert it into the ground. And now for you, the stake might not go in as easily, so if you're having trouble getting the stake to go into the ground, you can use like a rubber mallet or say like a rock and a wooden block to pound it in. So a quick note when you're putting these stakes into the ground, you don't want to put them straight into the ground like this, because then they're going to be more likely to pull out. What you want to do is insert them into the ground at like a 45-degree angle with respect to vertical. And this way, they'll be less likely to pull out of the ground when there's tension on the system here. And we're going to do the same thing for the other stake here. Go ahead and insert it into the ground. And you can probably see that the mast is flexing a little bit this way now, but that's totally fine because it should correct itself back to vertical once we put the other mast up. So now that we have that one staked out, I'm going to go ahead and lift this mast up while Dewan is still holding that one up over there. And now I can go ahead and insert this mast into the ground here, into the cap that we put in the ground earlier. Go ahead and get in front of one. Alright. And now that I have this one in the ground, I'm going to have Dewan come over here and hold this mast up. Alright. Get these untangled. Okay. So now we can go ahead and make these guy lines nice and tight. Put some tension on them and insert the stake into the ground. And do the same thing with the other stake. Alright, and there you have it. We've put up one of the dipoles, and once you have this one up, it's the exact same process to put the other one up. Hey guys, okay, so now that we've set up both these dipoles here, everything's all connected. Now we gotta do some coaxial wiring. So I got Mari here who's going to connect the phasing cable. And to do this, you just want to take your female to female adapter here and just screw the phasing cable onto one end and this other 12.53 meter cable onto the other end. And it doesn't matter which end is connected to which on the female to female adapter. They both do the same thing. So next, what you're going to want to do is, once you've connected the phasing cable, is we're going to connect the other end of the phasing cable and this other 12.53 meter cable to the power combiner here, which Dewan is going to take care of. And again, same thing, it doesn't matter, like, you'll see that there are two sockets here. It doesn't matter which one of these sockets you connect each cable to, as long as they're both on the same side. They have to both be on the same side of the power combiner. Alright. Alright, and now that we have that all connected, our next step is to go ahead and take our long data cable and we're going to connect it to the last remaining socket on the power combiner. All right, we got that all connected. And again, you know, specific orientation and everything doesn't matter. And now we can take the other end of our data cable here, and Mari's going to go ahead and show you how to connect the cable to the BNC to female adapter.
So basically you're going to screw in the screwy part to the end of the coax cable here, and then you're going to take the part with the pins and insert it right into this chamber here where the straight part is, and then you're going to push in, rotate, and now it should be locked in and your cable should work. And then you're going to take the other end of this cable and screw it right in to the gold receiver here.
Alright, and that is all the wiring we needed to do. So now you are ready to plug this into your computer and start collecting data.
Hi, if you're watching me here again, it means you have followed full video. Hope you have enjoyed and followed the installation steps and tips given by Dylan. I'm sure now you are well capable to set up your own antenna by yourself. In this picture, you are seeing the fully installed dual dipole SunRISE GRL antenna, and I'm sure that you will be having the same one. If you are having any difficulties and questions at any step of installation, I would suggest you to go through the full antenna installation manual or contact us with your queries on our website. We will try to sort them out. Thanks for all your attention. Please follow us on our social media platforms for more updates. We will meet again in the next module for the data acquisition process. Till then, bye-bye.